When you hear the name Mary Magdalene, what comes to mind? A loyal disciple, a reformed prostitute, or the secret lover of Jesus? Her image has been shaped and reshaped for over 2,000 years by the Church, by legends, and by Hollywood. But who was she really? Let's uncover the mystery of Mary Magdalene. The Bible tells us that Mary came from Magdala, a town by the Sea of Galilee. She is first mentioned in the Gospel of Luke, not as a sinner, but as a woman from whom Jesus cast out 7 demons. She then becomes one of his most faithful followers, present at his crucifixion, his burial, and, according to all 4 Gospels, the first person to witness the resurrection. That's not a minor character, that's central. But centuries later, her story would be rewritten. In 591 CE, Pope Gregory I gave a sermon that changed everything. He combined Mary Magdalene with several unnamed women in the Gospels, including the sinful woman who anointed Jesus' feet. And just like that, Mary Magdalene became known as the repentant prostitute. But here's the problem. There is no biblical text that directly calls Mary Magdalene a prostitute. None. Modern scholars, and even the Catholic Church, have since admitted the confusion was a mistake, one born out of tradition, not scripture. So why was her image altered? Some believe it was to diminish her role. In a male-dominated church, a woman being the first witness of the resurrection, and a close confidant of Jesus, may have seemed too disruptive. But Mary's true legacy may run even deeper. In non-canonical texts like the Gospel of Mary, found in the 19th century, she is portrayed as a spiritual leader among the disciples. She receives visions, she teaches, and in one passage, Peter even complains that Jesus loved her more than the others. Is this proof of a romantic relationship? Not necessarily. The word love in ancient texts often refers to spiritual closeness, not romantic affection. But it does suggest that Mary held a unique position, one that challenged the traditional hierarchy. This idea was reignited by the Da Vinci Code, which proposed that Mary and Jesus were married and had children, a theory based more on fiction than fact. Still, the story caught fire, because deep down, people sensed that Mary Magdalene had been reduced to a caricature, either the fallen woman or the secret wife, but never simply who she was. So who was she? The Gospels show a woman of deep faith, courage, and loyalty, one who stayed when others fled, and one who was chosen to carry the most important message in Christian history: He is risen. Whether or not she was more than a disciple, she was never less. Today, scholars and theologians are finally restoring Mary Magdalene's reputation, not as a sinner, but as a founding witness, a pillar of faith, and perhaps a symbol of how history reshapes women who speak too loudly. In our next episode, we'll look at something even more controversial. Did Jesus actually know how to read, and where did he learn his teachings? Don't miss it.